Hi y'all, Renee here. I am here today to put together the scrapbooking workshop for Candid Moments. I'm really excited about this one. It's a really pretty layout set, and I think that it will cover a whole lot of different types of pictures. So I'm looking forward to doing this one. Now, what I am going to do differently this time is I have not done anything on this kit. I'm going to do all the cutting, all the prepping, everything right here on camera. So I'm going to go ahead and record all that. So I'll just give you a quick look. This is what the layouts will look like when they're done. It does come with your photo placeholders as usual. So I'll put those off to the side. It comes with these die cuts that have a wood look to them. However, they're actually the thick cardstock die cuts, pre-done die cuts. So I don't know if you can really see too much yet, but I will be using those. So we'll put those off to the side. It comes with a sticker sheet, and this is our hard cardstock sticker sheets that are awesome. And then you get all of the paper that you need for the layouts. And so I'll show you both sides of this paper. Really cute. I love that. This kind of reminds me of Spirograph when you were a kid. I love that. I love that toy. Make all kinds of fun things. I wonder if they still make that. And this fun one. And I love this gradient. This is really pretty. And I love the zip strips. Really, really cute. And the flowers. And then some additional die cuts. I'm going to get these turned around so you can see them. And they're all clearly marked with which project they go with, which is very, very handy. Oops, I got that one upside down. So there's some more for project 3. Here's some for project 2. And these are for project 2 as well. Ooh, this one's already coming out. These are so well cut that they are already coming out. So let me get that. And so these are for project 1 and a few for project 2. It looks like we have some special print paper. So this is probably, it looks like it's the background for layout 1. So we'll keep that off to the side. We'll put these, we're going to use the paper first because I'm going to go ahead and do all the cutting. So we'll put these backgrounds off to the side. And then you also get your colored, all the colored cardstock that you need. So really pretty selection of cardstock. Put that off to the side. And then it also comes with these die cuts as well. I'm going to go ahead and leave them in the plastic for now until we get around to using them. Looks like they're used for layout 1. And let's see. And then layout 3 uses the words. So really fun. So this looks like a really fun kit. So the first thing I always do is I cut off all the zip strips from the paper, and then I follow the cutting diagrams. And there's usually not too much. I'll get the papers apart. Usually not too much. So here it tells me what I need to use for the cutting diagrams. I mean, the zip strips, which project they go with. And then these are the cutting diagrams for the papers. And that's it, just those 2 pages. The only other thing that I bring in is I save my old bags from other kits, and then I number them. So 1, 2, and 3, since there's 3 layouts. And as I cut pieces, I put them in the bags along with any other paper or anything else that I have that I know needs to go to that particular kit or that particular layout. That way I can just grab it really easily. So I'm just gonna grab in my Fiskars. This is probably one of my favorites that I've ever had. This is the Fiskars cutter, and it has the wire. I don't know if you can really see it, but the wire makes it really easy to see exactly where you're cutting. And then I love these, and what I always do is I always cut in the same direction. So I always go from the bottom to the top. And then when I start noticing that my cuts are getting a little frayed and not quite as crisp as I like, I take this off and flip it around. And then I know that I'm using both sides of that blade before I get rid of it. And then I replace it once I start seeing that the other side has done that as well. The other thing I like about this is this pops out so that you can see up to, I think it's 15 inches. And then the only other thing I wish they would have done is I wish they would have put numbers for these lines here so you know which inches they are. So I just did them myself with a Sharpie marker. You can see it's starting to wear off a little bit, but I can still see what they are. So that is what I'm going to do next. So I will go ahead, put some music on for you. I'm going to cut all my stuff out and then get started. And then I'll be back at the end to show you some close-up pictures of each one of the layouts and then give you any other thoughts I have on putting the layouts together. I hope you enjoy. Well, these turned out beautiful. A couple things I didn't show you when I got started is there was some sponging that went on in some of these, and it's totally optional. I used Carolina and papaya ink on the sponging, and then just a couple little pieces of my sponge that I cut up. And I'll go ahead and show you these first. I'll point out I made a couple mistakes. What's a surprise there? So here are these two. I love the way this turned out. That was the neatest little thing I've ever seen. And you can do that on your Cricut. I think one of our cartridges has this cut or something similar to it. Or we had a die at one time that did that. But I never thought of doing it like that. And you just use one side of the paper and then the other, and they're two different tones of the same color. Love how that turned out. I messed up right here. This piece was supposed to go underneath this journaling spot. I'm just going to leave it off because it's just too difficult to get it back off again. And but otherwise, everything turned out really great on these. Love the way they look, and I love the little extra detail that you get when you sponge some areas. The other thing I did is I noticed that on this one, you only really saw half of it. So I went ahead and cut it in half, and then I'm going to keep this other piece for something else. So there was the first layout. See if I can get that picked up. And then the second layout, these are the little journaling strips that will go right here. I usually leave those off and only put them on after I've finished, so I know how big of a journaling spot I need. So I love the way this one came out as well. Now, one thing that I did mess up on this one is I believe we were supposed to put this pink one in here somehow underneath everything right here. I totally missed it, and by the time I realized it, everything was there. So I guess I could always like throw it right there. That's kind of pretty. I may do that. Let's just do that real quick while we're looking at everything. And that's, you know, the beauty of these layouts is you can change them around, make them whatever you want. Yeah, I like that. I changed that around. The only thing on this one that you need to make sure you do is make sure you cut this in half and then you line it up so that when it's in your book, it looks, it matches up. So, oops, I'm sorry, I was out of frame. So there's this one. I love this little bird. I have too much dimension in my books right now, so I've been leaving off the extra dimensional adhesive, but you could certainly put that wing on with dimensional adhesive and it would give it a little bit more interest. I was trying to keep everything as flat as possible, so there is that. Love this one. I love that bird cage. It's actually reminded me of my mom. She had a bird cage like that right at the front door of her house with flowers and all kinds of things, and it was really pretty. Now, I did have a little bit of trouble with this. I tried to find something maybe in my kitchen, or I looked everywhere for something that had the right curve so that I could get the pendants going all the way across. I couldn't figure it out. So I just started putting it on, but you know what? It looks fine the way it is. I think I overthought that particular thing way too much. So on this one, when I did this one, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to have it go from the corner of this to the corner of this. However it ends up, it ends up. So I think it turned out great. And I love these little stickers. I wish they sold just these stickers. These would be so fun in a day planner. So there's that. And then the final one, I love how this one came out. Very, very pretty. And I love this little extra that they had you sponge underneath the word story. Really, really nice. Now, I think I was missing a piece. I used it somewhere that I probably shouldn't have. So I had to pull this from somewhere else. But you know what? It worked out. At the end of the day, everything worked out. And you could always cut more circles because you have a lot of extra paper. Check this out. I'm going to show you this real quick. Usually you don't have this much extra paper left over from one of these kits, but I've got enough left over that I can make all kinds of cards. I mean, look at all of this paper. And I've even got, not only that, but I've got one full sheet of this that weren't even used. So you could always cut out some of these right here with a circle die, or even just cut it out by hand if you wanted to add some more circles. to any of your layouts, or if you want to do some additional layouts with the same circular design. For me, I'm going to be making some cards with this extra paper. Let me throw this in here because there are a lot of extra stickers left, and the stickers really would lend themselves well to cards. So, I mean, these are great. I still have one of those left, a heart. I have a few of the flags, the pennants, since I didn't use all the pennants in this little camera. These would make really great cards. So I'm going to use this extra paper for some cards. And then I also have a large amount of all of these, and I'm just going to pop them out and put them in my little bucket where I keep extra die cuts. And these are actually chipboard. I mean, they are, I'll just pop these out so you can see them, because otherwise they're hard to tell what they are. These are chipboard die cuts, so they're really, you will have to trim them, you know, a little bit, because they've got those little nubby things on them. But these are just, they're really nice. I mean, they pop out pretty easy. But I think these would look good on some cards as well. Also I could save them for some other layouts. Another thing you could use, like I just threw this away, but you could use these as stencils, just small little stencils if you wanted to. It's heavy enough that it would work really well as a stencil. So just show you these little guys, pop them all out here. And a big star. And I love these tags. These tags would be great on a card. I was just wondering if, yeah, see, that typewriter would fit on this tag, that camera would fit on this tag. Yeah, this would work out really well to make a bunch of cards. So this kit, really, I'm going to get a lot of use out of this kit. So that's all done. I'll get rid of that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave you. And if you have any questions about this kit, about any of the products that I used, oh, speaking of products, with these chipboard pieces, they're pretty heavy, so I would use a really strong adhesive. I just used some Barely Art glitter glue, but you could use whatever kind of heavy duty glue you have, liquid glue. Don't use too much though, because you don't want it to like pucker your paper underneath. I don't know why I keep saying fabric today. So with that, like I said, I'm going to leave you. If you have questions, please leave those for me down below. If you're not already a subscriber, I would love to have you subscribe. Just hit either the red banner below, or you can wait till the very end and you'll see my face. You can click my face and subscribe from there. And if you like this type of video where I did everything start to finish, please leave me a thumbs up so that I know this is the kind of video that you like to see, and I'll start to do that more often. Otherwise, let me know if you have any other suggestions for things you'd like to see. And with that, I hope you're having a great day, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.